Hey YouTube, Dan Otto here, coming at you with a second team comp slash Pokemon that I'm going to be testing out for the Toronto Regional next month. And the team build is, I've already done a team building series on Kanto Ninetales and Sableye and Walrein, actually, and Azu. I think I've done team building on all of them. But this team of, well, I actually started with Ninetales, Sableye, Azumarill, and then I put in Walrein after. And it's basically a very easy concept. It's a balanced team. Kanto Ninetales is going to have two big problems with this meta. Altaria leads and Swamperts, right? And Bastiodon to a certain extent. So Sableye safe swap, and I started with the Azumarill, and I think that was the better option, quite honestly, because it deals with your Altaria. Both deal with Altaria, Walrein and Azumarill. Azumarill deals with, you would now have its sort of double weakness to Dark in the back, like something like Scrafty will cause you problems, so that deals better with that. And then Swampert, Walrein deals better with that. But then Bastiodon makes you double weak to Rock with Walrein and Ninetales. So I tried both out. I think Azumarill is the better one. But let's get into some battles, and I'll go over the pros and cons of each Pokemon. So here's a pro right off the bat. And like I said, when I'm team building here, I'm team building for Toronto Regionals, but it's also the same with the meta in Open Great League. The meta in Open Great League is like 10 to 15 Pokemon, and Trevenant is one of them, right? So Kanto Ninetales right off the bat has play there, and I know Trevenant was on a lot of the top teams, so get that in. Out comes a Drapion. I'm probably gonna it threw fast and it's Shadow, so I know it's an Aqua Tail, so I need to shield. So I will shield. I'm gonna build a bit more, throw here. It's gonna force a shield, or it's gonna put them very low, and then I'm going to come with my Azumarill because I know that they've already showed Aqua Tail. 100% they're running crunch with this. So although the poison, I always forget the fast move, poison jab. Although the fast move is going to be doing super effective, I know both Aqua Tail and crunch are resisted. So I can just come in here. Azumarill is one of those Pokemon who is going to have, I think it's an interesting play, and I think it's on my short list of Pokemon. So if you watch my first video, Defense Deoxys I don't think is on my short list. Umbreon is on my short list, and Lickitung is on my short list for sure. I think with this team, maybe all four of these are on my short list, quite honestly, because Azumarill is just, look at that, you get super effective there. You take care of all the darks. You take care of Sableye as a safe swap. You take care of medicham, which is on 7 of the top 8 teams. So that's great. Bastiodon comes in here. I'm going to overheat this. It does about 50%. So good chip damage there. I'm down a shield, but now it is just time for Sableye to do Sableye things. And again, Sableye, one of the best safe swaps. Even if you get hit with the Fairy, you can probably still get a return off. Shadow Claws are one of the best moves in the game. Foul plays out of quickly here. The only problem is there's now a lot more Lickitung and Noctowl safe swaps to directly answer your Sableye. So although it has a ton of play overall, it can get walled more, and that's why I've actually I think I saw like 3 or 4 Sableyes on the lead for that exact reason. Diggersby, Noctowl, and what was the third one I just said? Lickitung are all acting as safe swaps. So I saw like 3 or 4 on the lead as Sableye on the lead instead of a safe swap. That is not a bad play given the meta. You know what's in the back to answer Sableye as a safe swap, so you could lead Sableye. So I don't actually hate that. I do end up shielding the second one here, thinking I can get to a third one before they get to a third one. But they end up letting it go, so now they're in farm down range, and out comes a Scrafty. So I'm going to bank the move, and here we go, right? This is why Azumarill's a beast. I don't need to shield up anything. I'm super tanky. One player off is probably going to knock it out. It will most definitely will knock it out from this range. So I can build up to like 100 energy before I even throw that. And I know that there wasn't a ton of just darks on the top teams. Like the top teams were, but there's Altaria. There was Altaria on a few top teams. So this is a great answer for Altaria. It is not a great answer when you're running Play Rough Ice Beam here. I did fake like I have a Hydro. I think Ice Beam Play Rough is, Ice Beam Play Rough is the way to go. Even if you kind of get walled by steals. I mean, you're walled by steals. I have a great answer in Ninetales, right? So that's why the team sort of works. Come in here, and they catch on the Sableye, and I think that just may have cost me the game because that was... Oh no, I should still be okay. But that was a great catch. They need to throw a move. They have to shield because this will take them out. I'm still going to be able to fire spin a lot. They're going to have to throw, and then I have Sableye to clean up here. So I'll still win despite the nice catch on their part there. So I have to throw, and then one Zap Cannon will not take out a Sableye. Lock on resisted. I will get to the foul play, no problem, for the win. So the team itself has play. I already showed that in the team building series. I think all three of these Pokemon will have play in the... So here's the problem. So do I go in Azu? Yeah, this is dumb. So I say Azumarill is an answer to Swampert. So there's two things that played at... Let me stop this. If you want to run this team, you need to know two things that just happened here. Altaria is by far the worst lead for this team. You have an amazing answer in Azumarill or Walrein in the back. The problem is they should have an answer for those two. Now Swampert comes in, you're thinking, you're okay. You're not okay. The Swampert Azumarill matchup is quite annoying. The fact that you can actually, I think, just go straight sludge. I don't even know if you need to bait. You can, I think, just go straight sludge and put the slow. And if you bait, it's even better. And I think I get baited here. Yeah, I get baited with the Hydro Cannon. So this is already over because they pretty much could just go straight sludge to start with, and they baited me. So they're going to definitely get a sludge off here. So I have to shield one. I don't think this play rough takes out. So coming in here as a safe swap is not maybe the greatest. No, it doesn't take out. Coming in here as a safe swap is not the greatest answer, even though I didn't get hit with a super hard response. Do they get another one off here? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they get another one off because they baited. Right, so there's a second sludge, takes me super low, so I'm down a shield. I kept switch, which is fine. I guess I don't have the I don't have my Ninetales, which is just a super losing matchup on it, but now I'm down a shield, and that's why if you go into Sableye as a save swap, which probably would have been better for this team, actually, quite honestly. So I should have went Sableye save swap, but if you go Sableye, you still lose that matchup. You lose that matchup straight up, so you definitely lose it when you're down a Dragon Breath or two. So I come in here, I'm just going to sacrifice this, but it does not matter. They Earthquake me and this game's over. So and then I switched to Walrein just to get better coverage, and Walrein's a better safe swap than Azumarill, in my opinion, right? Because you won't get walled as fast. You could get hit with a fighter, and then I'm talking about that's the double dark back and stuff like that. Another Sableye lead, right? It's not a bad strategy. But it's a great answer to Altaria. It gives you better answer to, not that you need one for Trevenant because you already have two answers for Trevenant, but it gives you a third answer almost to Trevenant, right? So that's not bad. So that's why it's if you want to use Walrein on this team, I don't hate it. Again, you're just double weak to dark in the back, not dark, but a Scrafty or an Obstacle will cause you problems. And then you are double weak to rock, so that hurts. I go down here, I grab the shield, that's fine. I just want to come out with a couple claw advantage here because a couple claw advantage is pretty good. Let's see what they have in the back. Azumarill, so that's interesting. So I'm going to just go straight for the return. Hopefully it lands, and then I'll probably switch if it does. If it doesn't, I may shield and then try. So it does, so I'm probably going to try and get out of here. Yeah. I'll let the play rough go through, probably. Yeah, let the play rough go through, see what they have in the back. They're not leaving. I may shield because they're not leaving. And the only reason they're not leaving is if they have something very weak in the back to Walrein. I throw the Earthquake and they do shield, but I get outpaced to the next one because they're throwing straight play roughs at me. So I outpace, and I think they have either an Altaria or a Trevenant or something in the back here. Yeah, and it's Altaria, right? So I will get to the move here and win this match. So Walrein's a good answer to there. I did see a Bastion lead, which is an auto loss for this team, which it wouldn't be an auto loss if you had an Azumarill in the back, but it's an auto loss for this team. Diggersby lead here. Is this where I go overheat? I'm pretty sure I went overheat here and they don't shield, and then this is the power of Walrein's safe swap. Because I nuked them, it takes them down to the red, and then I instant swaps would take that. Oh, and so they only have a Wiggly. And this is where Just the problem with the azumarill is it's so, I think Alfie said it best in the comments, it's so slow and boring. Just the bubbles are slow, the ice beam and player up is like, everything feels slow. These powder snows and icicle spears are fast, and it does a lot of damage. So I'm already going to grab a shield here, and they try and farm me down, so I'm going to get a second shield or take them out here. And that's just kind of the power of Walrein, and that's why it was like the number one. Oh, I don't take him out. I lose. They have 1 HP left, which is fine, because now I just even get another fire spin in through here, which is great. I mean, Diggersby still has a ton of energy, so I'm probably going to need to double shield. If they come in Diggersby, I think I double shield and farm, because I've got to imagine that there's another fairy in the back here. Yeah, so I'm just going to full farm, double shield, because I think this is like an ABB fairy type lineup. They're trying to draw it, yeah, and there's a Slurpuff. And so I bait with the Weather Ball, and I think I overheat nuke it for the win. Because it's not a common lineup, but it's a very obvious lineup, right? You have one Charmer come in a not amazing matchup against Walrein, right? And then basically what you're trying to do is draw out a Galarian Stunfisk, take it down, like lose the fairy matchup there, have the Diggersby win, and then you have the other one roaming free. So ABB style double fairy. So yeah, I think all 4 of these Pokemon are potential options for regionals. I think this team sort of works. Like I'd run a Azumarill probably just because I don't want to be super double weak to like Dark and Rock in the back, or Rock overall. And yeah, so these 4, Umbreon, Lickitung so far, are all on my short list. I'm working through a 3rd team right now, which will go up probably, I don't know when this is going on. Maybe this is going up Monday, and so it'll go up Tuesday, the next team. And we'll test out a bunch of these Pokemon that I think will have play. So right now they've been very meta, right? I am doing some, what I did the other day. Okay, thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one. Random thought time. It's not so much a rant today, it's just my other thoughts. What I did was I went to PV Poke, and I went down 150 rankings for Pokemon. And what I did was I basically looked at all their matchups, and I'm using those matchups to assess against what has been the top picks in the regionals, right? Because the region I mentioned on Twitter, I think I showcased it in how do you build a pick 6 team or show 6 team. The meta is there was like out of the 8 top teams, again, you need some skill, but out of the 8 top teams, there were 7 Medichamps, 6 Trevenant, 5 Lickitungs, 4 Azumarills, 4 Swamperts, 4 Altarias. There's some Ninetales, right? It's a very, very limited meta. So what I did was I went to PV Poke, and I went down to 150 rankings, seeing like, is there something in like the 150 range that will deal with all these, right? Like Kanto Ninetales, which I love, is probably like 130 now, but it deals with Galarian Stunfisk. Galarian Stunfisk was also on like the top. Galarian Stunfisk or Registeel was on the top teams too. So it somewhat deals with that. Definitely deals with Registeel, less so Galarian Stunfisk, but it deals with the Trevenant. That's a good answer. It stays in with Medicham and Lickitung and can stand there. Obviously, you just get destroyed by Swampert and Azumarill, so you need answers covers for that if you're going to bring that. Anyways, so I was going through and I was like, there are some sneaky picks down there. And there's one pick, which I may do later in the season for fun. When I was looking at the rankings, it beat Medicham, Galarian Stunfisk. Let me see if I can find because I sent it to my factions team. So let me just open it up here. There's a Pokemon that I went down the list, and it beats so many things that I was just so surprised about. And I'm like, I have never seen this Pokemon be used. Why not when it has so many good matchups? Take a guess which Pokemon this is. Okay. Medicham. It beats Medicham, Ninetales, Diggersby, Scrafty, Swampert, Skarmory, Lantern, Galarian Stunfisk, Bastiodon. It has winning matchups against all those, and you never see this Pokemon. It does have some obvious hard losses, but it's an interesting Pokemon, so I may use it for more fun. I don't think I'll bring it to the regionals, but like that's a lot of good wins, and you never see this Pokemon, so I will bring that sometime later in the season. Anyways, now I'm done talking. Again, I'll put more of these teams out. with Pokemon that I want to use. And again, it's not that these teams are 100% great. Like this team is more balanced. The team the other day has its play, but for the most part, I'm just testing a Pokemon, even if the team doesn't make 100% sense. But yeah, that's it. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.